Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Aviation Cadet Sabishah here again. Today, I will talk about once a cadet reports into Pakistan Airforce Academy Risalpur, and for first 3 months, what are his routines, his daily, doing things, and what kind of responsibilities is he given, what is he taught. So previously, I have covered from the initial selection procedure on my previous videos. You can check them on my timeline. From initial selection, kids go for cadets. The cadets 2B, they go for I.S.S.B, Inter-Services Selection Board, and I have covered each and every step, what kind of tests are taken there, given there, and how a cadet should take part in those kind of tests, because they all are checking for your OLQs, officer-like qualities, and intelligence. So after that, you go for the Central Medical Board in Karachi on Masroor base, where you are thoroughly checked for any kinds of problems in your body or outside your body. So once you are done with that one, then final filtration is done and the final list is sorted out, and you get your final call and you join the Pakistan Air Force Academy as the potential officers of Pakistan Air Force. And I have covered till my day one, my personal day one. And again, the system has been changed. It had been about 31 years ago when I joined Pakistan Air Force, and it has evolved since then. So probably the most present system would not be the one I'm telling you at the moment. But imagine if 31 years ago this was the training for the newly inducted cadets. Imagine after 31 years what kind of training do the cadets go through to be the perfect officers of Pakistan Air Force and lead from the front. And of course, whenever the nation needs, our pilots never let us down. And the whole staff is not only one pilot. It's the ground staff, it's the engineering staff, it's the mess staff. Everyone is including in the package. But of course, we talk about the pilots, but now I would give credit to the whole Air Force unit that works as one and then makes these results possible. So first of all, as a disclaimer, I'm not talking on the behalf of Pakistan Air Force or any other institution, defense institution of Pakistan. All the observations are my own, and all the things mentioned in the video are my own research. So here we go, part one. So once a cadet reports, no matter what term are you from, there are some official things which one cadet has to follow. Normally, we wake up with the Fajr Azan, which is by the local mosque located in the academy. I don't know about the other religions' practices, because I didn't face any of the non-Muslims during my stay, although there were non-Pakistani cadets from Bangladesh, from Jordan. So we had those cadets back then, but they were also Muslims. So I have no idea about how non-Muslims go and do their prayers. We have Hindus, we have Christians in Pakistan Air Force, but we wake up with the Fajr Azan, the first morning prayer. And after that, we have to prepare for the morning assembly, which has to be conducted in front of the main porch, in front of the cadets' mess, where everyone has to be there. So normally we are the junior most. So at that time, we have to give a parade state handed over to one corps senior than us. In that parade state, we mention the total strength of the cadets and total present. And those who are not present, we write their names and disposals on a piece of paper and hand it over. The senior man hands over to the one taper or one semester senior than us. Who is a senior man? Mostly it goes with the part numbers, which are allotted right on the day when you arrive. And initially it was according to your I.S.S.B batches, but later on they changed it to on the merit. So anyone who's holding pot number 01 in one squadron, that is going to be the senior man of that group. And he's responsible for collecting all the people and knowing their disposals and then reporting to the upper chain. And that's how it passes on. So one tape gives it to two tape along with their own parade state. Then two tapes gave it to two and a half tape along with their own parade state. And then the quarterfinal term and the semifinal term. And finally, it goes to the final term. So once everyone is present, morning assembly is conducted. That's also compulsory. Normally with the Hamdonat and Qira of Quran Hakim. And once that's done, then each course marches towards their respective colleges. In our case, it was College of Flying Training, CFT. In engineering case, it was College of Aeronautical Engineering, CAE. Both buildings are in the same location, but a little bit different from each other. So their classes are in a different building, our classes are in a different building. And then there's the cadets wing over there, where all the officers that relate to the cadets' activities, they sit. So all these three things are together. Once we go for the college, again, the compulsory classes, everyone has to attend unless you are on excuse duty. You are not supposed to attend any of the official activities, and you are excused. Excuse duty means that you just stay in your room and have rest, and even the lunch and dinners and breakfast are served to you. So once the college is done, then all the flights are assembled outside. There's no parade state. Anytime, once there are enough people, at least 10 in one flight, and then you start marching towards the cadets' mess, where you are dispersed in the main porch. Everyone has to be dispersed there in the main porch or in front of your respective blocks, barracks. Once you are dispersed, go back to your room, you put your things back in the room, and then you come back. Normally, it's the Zohar prayer time, and everyone attends the prayers most of the times. I have never seen anyone skipping the prayers. This is a good thing that at least you get punctual, and then you are offering your prayers. So after the Zohar prayers, we go to the mess and have our food, lunch. And once the lunch is done, then is your nap time, all the way till games. There is a time of 2 hours for the games. Once the games are conducted, you can play basketball, volleyball, soccer, football, and squash, and all these games which are good for your fitness. You just play those games. And then tea time is right after the games, where you go in front of your respective squadrons and then do your share, mostly juice or tea, and then along with some snacks, and also as pakoras and cakes and buns. You get those snacks. Every course has their in their tray. Every course has a limited number of snacks. Like if we were 16 in one squadron, we would get 16 pieces of share, and then we just pick up our own share, eat it, drink it, and then normally the Asr prayer. Before games is the Asr prayer, the third prayer of the day, and after games it's the Maghrib, the fourth prayer of the day, right over sunset. So as soon as you go for the sunset prayers, you come back, it's already the dinner time, and you have to finish your dinner before 8 o'clock. And from 8 to 10, it's compulsory prep time. Prep means that you have to be in your desk and put a book in front of you, and you have to sit there. Even if you have no home assignment, you just need to sit in that chair for 2 hours. That's official. After the prep, it's Isha time. We go in, regardless of the season, we go for the last prayer of the day. And when we come back to the rooms, 10:30 is the lights out. So 10:30, no matter what season it is, 10:30 is the lights out, and then you are supposed to be in your bed until the next morning. So that's pretty much the routine every cadet follows throughout their tenure at Risalpur Academy. Seems very easy, right? So let's come to part 2 now. Once a cadet reports, he's a clean kid. So what are his duties and responsibilities during that time? First 3 months. First 3 months are when a cadet has no ranks. A cadet it is an aviation cadet, but actually it is the lowest most rank in all the forces, and you are nothing. You are, people think that they become officers from day one onwards. No. First thing, of course, with your haircut, which I mentioned earlier, your hair is right now, this is heaven. I mean, with the hair I'm having at the moment, and no whiskers allowed ever. Sideburns, you don't have sideburns throughout your officership even. Maybe a little bit, but not this long. So no sideburns, and mostly the hair is cut. Whatever you see, the white part of my hair in junior most, it's all gone. Nothing over here. And the hair on top, you can't even hold them in your hands. It's all gone. They make sure that you don't have any hair. Why? Because they want to break down your personality and start building up according to their own way. So in order to break down anyone's personality, you have to mentally break down the person. You have to give him panic attacks, depression, stressful conditions. So the first thing starts from your appearance. So, and then everywhere you go, you have to double up, and your knees should be touching your chest, open sky. So wherever you go, you have to go by marching, double march, and your knees should be your chest height level. Like we have seen the commandos in the parade, SSGs, Pakistan 111 Brigade. Once they appear, a new passion evolves in the crowd, because they go Allahu, Allahu, and their knees are touching their up to chest level height, and that's what we're supposed to do back then. Everywhere under the sky, you have to do that. And if you're not in the sky, under the sky, then you have to go 90-degree marching. 90-degree marching means that your arms should be 90 degrees from front once you're marching, and once you swing it back, it should also make a 90-degree angle with your body, and your legs should be perfectly straight. So that's called 90-degree marching under the roof. Not in the cadets mess where you can walk normally, not in the library, not in the classrooms, but anywhere else in the corridors, especially in these kind of indoor places, not in the game room, of course. You have to march 90 degrees, and that's one of the things. So second thing, what they do is they stop letting you continue using the language Urdu or any other local language of Pakistan. You are supposed to communicate in English. We had many people who had no English background, but as this is what is the training for. So some of them, they really improved, and now they are perfectly well speakers. Like you have seen one of the speakers recently, Sir Air Vice Marshal Aurangzeb, and this is a very common thing to up to his level. Almost the one with no English background can go up there to that level. Why? Why English is necessary? Again, breaking down your personality, the norms you do where you feel comfortable, they have to take it away to, make you get back in your senses. So English is the military language. Even during our parties, the recreational parties, we speak English to each other. In rooms, we speak Urdu to each other, or whatever the language is. But once you're in front of, in public, among the seniors, English, that's it. So then second is cadets are not supposed to say no to the senior officers, senior cadets, whatever they say, you have to follow that. It says the line is do or die, but never say why. But the thing is, there are some illegal commands, and from day one you are told that what commands are illegal. For example, if someone is letting you do something which can harm your life, it can be life-threatening, you are supposed to refuse that and report immediately to alternate chain of command. And life-threatening, and anywhere where manhandling has been done, like someone who has touched you, no one is allowed to touch you apart from the shake hands. You can shake hands, no hugging, and no one is allowed to touch you. Number three, if they are asking you to strip off your clothes, mostly you stay in your shorts and vests during your junior most, but that's it. No one can let you strip below lower than that. And if anyone asks you, you can right away report and have that person punished, would be expelled right away. But I mean, this is to make sure that no sexual abuse is being done in the academy. And so that's it. Anything else? We have taken cold dips in winter. I mean, on our first night, I remember I was the first one from my course to take a cold dip. It's mentioned in my first day experience. In December winters in Risalpur, jumping into the ponds full of cold water, icy and freezing water. But yeah, it's not life-threatening because life threshold is minus 20 degrees, so we have to jump. So once the roles of cadets are assigned, the junior-most cadets, now let's switch this back to part 1 and part 2 altogether, keeping my personal experience, part 3. So we had no idea of this official routines. We came to know about that once we reached there. And from day 2 onwards, we started to know that, from day 4 onwards, because the official academy opening, everyone was on semester break. The previous courses have been graduated, passed out from the academy. So normally there's a semester break of 15 to 20 days, and all the other cadets, they were back home. We were asked 4 days prior to the academy reporting date, December 29th. The academy report on January 2nd or 3rd. I don't remember now. But 29th, 30th, 31st, and January 1st. January 2nd, yes, the 5th day. Before that, it was total ragging. I remember my Fajr prayers on December 30th. I couldn't go in Raku, in which you bow your head down. I couldn't do that. My muscles were so stiff. So normally we go for goldens, 360s, sit-ups, push-ups, and the most hateful position which a cadet can go into is getting down to Indian. I will demonstrate. I'm 50 now. I'm demonstrating that still I can do that. Now, why do we have these kind of things? To stiff your legs up. Now, for engineering, they don't need that. So most of the time, the engineering cadets, they are not being ragged that much. But for the CFT cadets, College of Flying Training, your legs are the most important part in flying the plane. You would say, why? Imagine thousands of horsepower engine is at its full power. And the initial trainers, they don't have auto brakes or speed brakes or the things which can mechanically stop the airplane on the ground. No, it's your legs. The shock is about 2,000 of horsepowers, and you have to stop that engine. And this is not a car. This is an airplane. Once its engine goes full, it wants to fly. So you have to stop that one. On my first day, which I've covered already, I had serious troubles on putting 2 feet on the pedals and, trying to control the aircraft, stop the aircraft on the middle line, but it used to skid toward one side or second side, and my IP used to elbow me and say, boy, stop the aircraft. If you don't, you can't take off. Eventually, after struggling for 10-15 seconds, 43 kilos of submersible managed to have a full stop with engine full power on. And we did our first takeoff. That was an amazing experience, by the way. But these punishments are, at least I took these punishments as my stamina building and my strength building, muscle building. I was very thin. So I took them religiously. like a ritual, because in order to fly later on, they're going to help me out. So that was my point of view. People used to find a lot of ways to get away from them. So official routine, I said, was at about about Fajr prayers. For us, for the junior most cadets, it was far before the Fajr prayers at about 4 o'clock in the morning. Imagine the fog in the morning. When we used to fall out, the junior most cadets, and one taper, one semester senior than us, and well, they switched duties every day. Different person is assigned, but I mean, we used to fall out when we couldn't even see each other standing right next to each other. It was that much foggy in Risalpur. And we have to wear commando kit, which was a vest, shorts, socks, and DMS shoes, which were issued on the day one to us. They call them duty mole shoes, very heavy. We could call them, compare with the civilian shoes, hiking boots, and 3 times the weight of the hiking shoes, boots. So we used to wear those, and imagine very heavy at the feet, and then very light on top, shivering cold, falling outside, and we're not supposed to shiver or tremble. And that's when they start making us train to get ready in shortest period of time. So we were given, suppose we're falling out in front of our barracks, we were given 90 seconds to go back and turn into, they call them white shitties, where you wear a white shirt, white pants. It was winter time, so blue sweater and no tie. Junior was, they don't wear ties. No, wait, yes, we had the red tie. For uniform personnel, the tie was blue, but for anyone else, the junior most, we wear the red tie. That was also issued, service issued. So that tie, and then we wear socks, and under the socks we have Oxford shoes, the leather shoes, and they should be spick and span, clean, shining. Although we're assigned with Batman's, called not the Batman, Buttman is the right term. The person who holds the butt of your rifle back in time, so a servant. The servants, the buttmans, they just are responsible to make your bed, polish your shoes, take your clothes to the laundry, dirty clothes, have them pressed, ironed, bring them back to you, and clean up your room a bit. So these are the responsibilities of the but nothing else does he do. But normally we just give them money and ask for the pack of cigarette, or if you want to have juices, which are not available in, or otherwise the food in the mess is amazing. So that's what the Batman's duties are. And if you are impolite to your servant, you will be given an official warning. And if you repeat it again, you'll be terminated from your services. You have to pay a little bit from your salary, which was about, I got my first salary of 1,200 rupees back then. And you pay 200 a month to the buttman. So one buttman is assigned to 8 people. And the 8 people are in 2 rooms. So one room contains 4 people. And so his salary, which he gets from us, is 1,600, and then the government pays them the salary. So that's how they manage their things. But they have to be respected. You're not supposed to yell at them. You can disobey a senior for many reasons. You will be excused, but once you misconduct with a servant, you're gone, terminated. See, it's that strict. That no matter what ranks you wear, people lower than you are the ones who you have to take care of at any cost, even if it involves your own, some kind of sacrifice. So that was one of them. So your uniform should be spick and span, single crease. If your pants have 2 creases, you're gone. You'll be punished. And there are many ways to be punished. So in 90 seconds, you have to come back and, be ready. And then they check, inspect And if your shirt was not properly tucked in, you'd be punished. If your belt was not tight enough, you'd be punished. And if your shoe had a little speckle on it, you'd be punished. So that's one. And once now you would think that, okay, I'm wearing clothes, full body clothes, I'm not feeling cold now, and they would just tell you, go back again and change it to commando kit. And again, 90 seconds. So now once you go, you have to make sure that once you take off your shirt, there are no extra wrinkles on the shirt, because they will let you wear them again. And if you get any wrinkles on the shirts, you're done. You're doomed. So that's one of the things which I'm saying. It's for future scrambling. Once a pilot is asked to, be in air in like less than 1 minute, so he has to be ready. He has to put his G suit on, his flying suit, and then go wear the helmet, get the parachute on. Mostly MBs don't require a parachute on now. The planes I flew, 2 of them didn't have MBs, Mashak and T-37s. So we used to carry the parachutes on us and run to the aircraft. But an MBC's, the parachute is located at the back of the seat, so you just need to strap in. But still, flying shoes, flying suit, and G suits. G suit is a kind of suit on top of your flying gi that helps you absorb G's. So human capacity is to absorb 5 to 6 G's, constant G's. But in this case, you can go up to 9 to 10 G's, and then you black out. But once you are ejecting out of the aircraft, there's spontaneous 20 G's, but for a fraction of a second, and then they go away because you're shooting out of the aircraft. Many of my course mates have experienced that. One of them was fatal, but the rest of them were successful. So you have to follow all these rituals until the morning assembly of the Fajr prayers. And once you go for the Fajr prayers, then you are not supposed to wear commando kit. You are supposed to be in your CVs. And while doing the prayers, while offering the prayers, you make sure that you don't have wrinkles on your clothes. Imagine, you have to, the most easiest way is holding your hand, getting the ruku and sajda, and qiyam, ruku, sajda, all these rituals you have to follow, and you have to make sure that your clothes are spick and span. So once you come back from that one, you have to wear a new suit and then tell your chachu, the buttman, to have it pressed again. Or I used to carry my own iron. That was the heaviest thing in my luggage, so we used to press the clothes by ourselves. And by the way, this was, and then how to keep a drawer clean. So from my picture, you could see on the left side, that my drawer, you could hardly see anything, right? You're supposed to put one pair of pants on top and one pair of shirt on the right of the pants. So top shelf has that one. Second one contains your shaving kits, and you have to have one foam, one blade. If you have the brush to make the foam on your face, 3 things: soap, toothpaste, and toothbrush. That's it, and it should be aligned properly. There's an order for that one. Then you have the drawers inside, and you have to keep your socks and vests in that, and your shorts. And again, one pair of socks, one pair of shorts, and one vest. Under that is your shoe section, and you can put bathroom slippers, one pair, and then your one pair of shoes, and one pair of DMers, and one pair of MOs. MOs are the shoes which we use in the parade ground with the horse nails at the bottom. So they, when on the parade ground, they make really big noise. DMs don't make that big noise. So two sets of shoes. Service issue. Although we will bring our own things, but everything was given at the Air Force. And so this is called CAS pattern inspection, Chief of Air Staff pattern inspection, in which the senior would come in and even check the dust under your bed. We take a napkin, and if there's dust found under your bed, you're done. Now, is it the job of the buttman? Yes, it is, but we have to make sure that he does his job well. So that's the first responsibility. And if he can't do it, then I'd be punished for that. So We used to clean our own rooms. We used to polish our own shoes. We used to press our own clothes by ourselves so that we make sure that we're not going to be checked. We're not going to be punished. So this is another responsibility cadets get time by time, that you can do everything by yourself. And from cleaning the tables, from polishing the floors up, shoe polish, and even sometimes we had to wash the clothes by ourselves because, but man, they are there for a certain period of time. They're not there in the evening. They just come in the morning, and then in the afternoon, and then before sunset, and that's it. We also give them the keys to our rooms. Otherwise, no one else. Whenever we go out, we have to lock the room, and only the Batman or the people have the room keys. There's no other luggage in the room. So after the morning assembly prayers, everyone marches to the cadets wing, not the junior most. We have to double up, and double up means knees on the level of the chest. So it's so tiring that after the breakfast, once we reached the school, we used to sleep, and we used to find the ways how to sleep during the class. And those who snore, please don't follow that way. We used to put our hand here, and the pen is over here, and pretending that we are writing something, and go to sleep. And sometimes, one of our course mates even he started to dream, so he wrote his dream in Urdu, and I was sitting right next to him, and I was like, what the heck is he writing? The officer caught him, the instructor caught him, but I mean, the instructors at the College of Flying Training, very kind. They were a wing of ED education, so they're from Lower Topa Murray School, graduate from there mostly. And they know the situation going with the junior most, so they are very lenient. If someone sleeps during the class, okay, but we have to be ready for the quiz, which I mentioned before, the quiz, the progress test, and the monthly test. So your 40% of the marks are in these three tests. So if you sleep, it's up to you. You will lose the quiz, which could be unannounced, and any time it will be given by the instructor. So during this college time, we also have the tea break in the morning. About 2 or 3 periods later, we have a share distribution, just like the games I mentioned. And then we have all the way till 1:30. Then there's a pack-up time when all the cadets, they fall outside one by one and then start going towards the main dining hall and disperse there. But we have to double up. And sometimes we go by frog jumping, sometimes we go front rolling, sometimes we go side rolling. That's how we travel back and come to the college. While going to the college, they make sure that uniform is spick and span, so no punishment. But going back, I don't remember going back on foot. It was always front rolling, side rolling. Now, in winter, it's okay, but imagine during summer when the temperatures are in their 40s and these coal tar roads, they are hot as hell. To the day, my hands have new skin and bruised skin. Although I do gardening as well, but those bruises from those push-ups on those coal tar made roads, still to the day they exist. I remember once we were doing push-ups on the road, and once I put my hands up, the skin stayed on the ground. Top skin. It was that hot and that terrifying. But we go through very easy. You just go to the hospital. They know their meds, so it takes like a day or two for these small wounds to be recover. You get LD at most, light duty, where you have to you have to be present in every official duty, but you don't take part in. Excuse duty is when you don't take part in and you don't join any of the official activity. And official activity I mentioned part 1. So once you go to the mosque for the Zohar prayers, and you come back, and seniors won't leave you. Anyone finds you, they will drag you, punish you, mentally break you down. And we used to call it strength 10, is to shout and yell every time you have to speak at the top of your voice, under the sky. You have to yell out. So any question asked, you have to yell out answering. And that makes you look really stupid. But yeah, this is what, that's how they brainwash. So anyhow, moving on to the, again, I don't remember any of my times that we were given any nap time in first 3 months. We never had the nap time. We were always doing something, being punished, push-ups, Goldens, 180s, 360s, getting into Indian position. Indian position, which I forgot to mention earlier, was get your head down and butt up, and your hands are up in the air. Your head is bowing on the ground. That's what called the worst punishment anyone could get. Get down to Indian. And 1, 2, 3, 1. We go down. So once this was done, the games, and during the games, that was one of the relaxing time we get. And again, that's also extra, physical activity. So we used to get that. But this was recreational. So you play soccer, you play volleyball. That's where they check your potentials. That what kind of games are you in? And I only played cricket, badminton, football, and field hockey with, the sticks from the trees. It was not that rich to buy a hockey, So we used to play with those sticks in our kachiyabati. So these were the 4 games I played, or if you call bantas the game, marbles, glirinda, yes, of course, or dabian, the cards. I've done all of them. That's it. But I came up to be a high jump champion for consecutive 3 semesters. One of my senior, he taught me how to back high jump. Most of the guys were doing front, like this is the bar. They used to come, run, and then just a high stride and jump over. But one of my senior, he used to do it like the professionals do from the back. So he just taught me that during the junior most, and I learned it within a day or 2. And he was from another squadron, by the way, from Squadron 4, Sir Qutbuddin Ahmad. And he taught me how to backflip. And I mastered it, and from semester 3, 4, and 5, I was the champion of my academy. Then was the javelin throw. Again, we used to, cricket, we used to chuck the ball, but javelin was another thing. And I learned that one in the academy too. With those skinny arms, but the power of wrist, I had it. So that's why I went in. I was not the champion, but among top 3 all the time. And long jump, triple jump. And what I found out that I had a good stamina for, not I found out, they found out, good stamina for long distance races. I'm not a short distance racer. I can't sprint, although during the cricket we used to sprint a lot, but that's too spontaneous for like 22 meters. But in 100 meters, I'm not good. 200 meters, not good. 400 meters, not good. 800 meters, okay. But crossing 1500, because that's what endurance comes in, that's where your willpower comes in. So 1500, 3000, 5000, 10,000 meters, and cross countries, I was among top 10 of the whole academy throughout my tenure. And these were the hidden talents which the academy officers, they found out. Before that, I had no experience. And many of our course mates, they found out what their talent was in terms of sports, in terms of physical training, and they are flourishing. And that's why most of the times when Pakistan is from non-Pakistani sports like cricket and hockey, guys are from military, they take part in. And in the national games, you will see that mostly the military men, they are among the top ones, because they can find the carbon and then polish it to make it a diamond. So many hidden talents were found during these first 3 months. So after the games, the Asr prayers, games, Maghrib prayers, and then again till the time we eat food, We are not supposed to stay in our rooms. We were always outside doing punishments all the course, so we never sat in our rooms for first 3 months. And now, because I came to the dinner, I didn't talk about breakfast, lunch, so let's finish all 3 meals in one. They have to make you the officer, so you have to behave like an officer. And no matter what your background is, you're from the remote areas of Pakistan, or you're from the urban areas, you're from a already military family, or you're from, like me, a farmer's family, doesn't matter at all. All of you have to behave at the same time, similarly. So once we enter the mess, okay, no talking to each other, nothing. You are not supposed to talk to each other on the dining table. You have to sit from the left of the seat always. You have to pick up your seat, don't drag it, put it back, enter from the left. And once you have adjusted your seat, you don't drag it. You just sit there. And you have to sit in sun position with your hands under the table on your knees, and you have to sit upright. Perfect. The shoulders should be straight, chin up, and chest out. And once cadet, he stands up and says, "Gentlemen, Bismillah." Means you can start your food. You're not supposed to touch the table with your hands. You pick up your spoon, you pick up your fork, left hand fork, right hand spoon, and you make sure that your wrists, elbows, arms are not on the table. Nothing is on the table, and you eat your food. And mostly we were given 60 seconds to 120 seconds to finish the food up. And once the food is in your mouth, you're not supposed to open your mouth. No noise should come out of it, like eating chewing gum. Nope. If you make any sounds, you're subject to be punished. So this was how we were trained. So sometimes we're sitting, the senior would come and take the chair away, and we should still be sitting. So imagine that. That's how strict it was. Normally, at that time, we used to put the napkin around the collar here. And later on, we were told not to put it around the collar, put it on the lap. So we used to put one napkin on the lap, and then have our food. And during the food, it was always salad first, main course later, and desserts at the end. So if you eat dessert, you're done. Go home and get back to your barracks, because then you're not supposed to touch anything else. So this was the whole thing. And after the lights out, I don't remember that we were ever given the time to be in the rooms till 12 o'clock and getting up at 4 o'clock. So for whole 3 months, our routine, squadron 1, was going to bed at 12 midnight, getting up at 4 o'clock. So every day we had 4 hours sleep. That's it. No naps in between. Whatever you could sleep was to sleep in the college. And when we have a free period, that was the best time ever. You just used to sleep on the chair. So I can sleep on this table even. I can sleep perfectly well on this. I can squeeze myself that much that I can, it's like a baby. That's how we managed our 6 hours of mandatory sleep a day. So 4 hours at night, and then those 2 hours, whenever we get find time, we just go to sleep. Standing, sitting, lying down, So that was one of the things. So I hope the video is getting too long. It was just a layout, and that what a cadet officially is supposed to do, and what unofficial things are done to the cadet during this time, and what kind of personality building is being done at that time, and what are the responsibilities of a cadet. So if you like the video, thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.